One was furious upon receiving your letter. Seized with anger, one set out to bring you to your senses. In truth, one had more than a few misgivings about your chosen partner. As an exorcist, his talent was lacking. One could hardly... But soon, one came to appreciate the devotion he bestowed upon you during your illness. He never... Unwilling to begrudge someone of such character, one decided, wishing to grant you a life without regrets. One gathered many divine ingredients, and used one's own blood to create a form of medicine. Though imperfect, as for how to deliver the medicine, after much contemplation, one eventually decided to perform the deed oneself. One took great care to alter one's features, and select the appropriate attire. Only after meticulous scrutiny did one finally set out for Wangshu Inn. As one expected, you were most ignorant of one's true identity. You showed not even the slightest inkling of recognition. One was quite torn. Should one have celebrated the success of one's disguise, or... Nevertheless, one would speak to you about another matter, if you are amenable. Skyward! Scatter! Skyward! Scatter! Seize the skies! Skyward! Scatter! Skyward! Stray clouds converge! Scatter! Skyward! Those monsters would hardly have pursued you with such ferocity without sufficient incentive. They were likely... Sad godly remains, in turn. One was, after all, an active participant in the Archon War. Some of the gods were likely shattered. In the end, one was relieved to see you endure through the night. At the break of dawn, one heard an infant's cry pierce through the air to see you happy. Now you should have a complete understanding of the events.
Wait! But if that's true, then the crane who took care of me when I was sick must also be...
Ah, one had almost neglected to recount the absurdities of that tale. Just as you and I troubled one with her antics, so did you give one. Upon finding you burning with fever, one made plans to bring you back to one's abode for treatment. However, upon seeing one's form, you began to cry, refusing to get on one's back. When one asked you why, apparently you believed that one could not possibly be a true Adeptus, because all illuminated cranes are white. One had no choice but to apply powder to one's body to conceal the variegated nature of one's appearance. You became more than amenable enough when one stood before you devoid of any other color. It bears mentioning, however, that as a crane, Yuendai was nearly entirely pure white in color. Perhaps fate brought... Now all has been revealed. One owes you an apology, you and I. One has always viewed you as a disciple of equal standing with Ganyu and Shenhe. Indeed, one wished to bring you... Still, one could not reveal your identity right away. Had one simply informed you of all you had lost, all memories are most meaningful when recalled by those who lived through them.
Master, I must ask. If you found me all those years ago, why did you leave me?
One has never regarded your action as a mistake. It was a simple choice. When it is time for one's progeny to leave the nest, it is the responsibility of an elder to let them fly free. Yet, when your wings grow weary, and the night 'tis a refuge referred to by many a name in mortal writing. One speaks, of course, of a place not unlike one's own abode. One's disciples are free to come and go. Yuan, one expects you too have sensed the rapid deterioration. 40 years ago, you chose a path without a future. Though one used one's own blood to provide you with a few decades of extra time, it merely delayed the inevitable. One may have extended the path. Even the power of an Adeptus has its limits. Had your condition continued to deteriorate, you would have forgotten your life as a human entirely. In the end, fortunately, You were able to avoid that scenario by reclaiming your
So, what's gonna happen to...
One will help her reclaim her original form as a wild crane. If it be fated, she may recover her sentience one day.
She's gotta go back to being a regular crane, huh?
Master, you've already done more. I don't know how I could possibly repay your kindness.
Not long.
Granny? Please don't leave, okay? You're up.
Don't be sad, dear child. Granny has led a wonderful life. Don't forget to eat well, okay? A growing young lady like yourself needs lots of good food to grow.
I promise.
Good girl. Good girl. Don't worry. It's not goodbye forever. Granny's gonna become... I won't stop until I can turn into a human without having to rely on anything but my own power. When that day comes, we'll be able to live...
Good.
That's a good girl. Even though we won't see each other for a little while.
I'll eat well, Granny. I promise. And I'll wait for you.
That's a good girl. Then Granny... I'm so sorry, Master.
Xianyun.
Let her be. At her age, crying is a... Tears are a necessary part of maturation. Sometimes there is scarcely a better... Now that the issue has been resolved, you should also take a moment to relax. Give yourself some time to rest.
I always believed we would see each other again, that our days of separation would finally end, and all my troubles would be behind me. If only things could stay this way forever.
A nightmare? Curious. If you're relaxed, shouldn't